This video is going to be a real important video for you to watch. In this video, I'm going to talk about discipline. I'm going to talk about how you can level up your discipline to the point to where you're going to set a fitness goal and come up with a program that you want to do, and you're going to be able to stick it out and see it through. See, we have what we are as far as our body, then we have the body that we want. But in between, we have the ability to stick it out and see it through over the course of 3 months, 6 months. That is going to allow us to get to that goal. So if we don't have the discipline, then whatever goal that we set in terms of fitness or just in general is not going to happen because we're not going to be able to stick it out and see it through. So in this video, I'm going to explain how you can raise your discipline to become a more disciplined person. Now, take note, this video was recorded about 5 years ago, and it's not exactly about fitness, but the rules still apply and the mindset still applies to fitness and whatever it is else in your life that you want to put it to use too. So, at the end of the video, I'm going to say a few more notes or a few more points that I want to make sure that comes across, and enjoy the video. So now we're at the whiteboard and I have everything written out on the whiteboard, and it's because this information is incredibly important and I want to make sure I'm accurate for you guys to know exactly how to get disciplined. And stay until the end because it's going to make sense to the end. So now if you was to go up to somebody and you ask them how to get disciplined, they're going to easily tell you how to get this discipline by going to the gym, work out every day, go on a diet, wake up at 5 a.m., go for a run. Pretty easy, right? But if you was to ask somebody what makes somebody disciplined, not a lot of people exactly know what makes somebody disciplined. And it's important to know, and I repeat, it's important to know what makes somebody disciplined, because once you know how to make somebody disciplined, you'll know exactly what you need to work on to get disciplined. It's like if I was a boxing coach and I told somebody, today we're going to work on our left hand. Go and just go work on your left hand. It's not specific enough for me to actually get good at my left hand because it's like what I'm going to do. But if I was to tell that same student, okay, we're going to work on our left hand today. We're going to do 3 minutes of a left jab, then we're going to do 3 minutes of uppercut, then we're going to do the speed back. It's very specific, so I can actually get better at my left hand because it's specific. So knowing exactly what makes a person disciplined, you get to practice and you get to build discipline because you know exactly what it is. Okay. So now, lack of discipline isn't an external thing. You don't fix it externally. And I'll give you an example. Let's say I go for this challenge, this 30-day challenge to make me a disciplined person, right? A 30-day challenge. I am not disciplined. So how can I run for 30 days if I'm not disciplined? It's because nothing externally is going to help me fix my ability to become disciplined. It may help, it's good practice for discipline, but discipline is more of an internal issue, a mindset issue. So we have knowing, people know what to do, but people don't actually get to the doing what to do. So I had a friend, right? He was in a relationship. This is middle school, right? He was in a relationship with somebody and the person was treating them shitty, wasn't being honest, was lying. And my friend knew not to be with this person. My friend knew not to be with this person. But he still stood. He didn't do what he needed to do. He didn't leave her because he loved her. And that's what prevents people from knowing what to do and actually doing what they need to do. It's because they let their feelings get in the way of the decision that they need to make. The more you consider how you feel when it's time to make a decision, 90% of the times you're gonna make the wrong decision because Emotions and feelings are misleading. They're misleading. They're going to mislead us, right? So how do we fix this mindset, right? Or how do we become more of a disciplined person? We have to learn how to not consider how we feel to make decisions. And I'll give you an example of this, right? So let's say, or I'm gonna skip that, right? So we have two voices in our head, right? We have the voice of what we need to do and the voice what we feel like doing. Majority of people come from the voice of they consider how we feel so much, right? They consider how we feel so much, and feelings, like we said before, are misleading. So we never actually get to the doing. And a perfect example of this is, let's say I want to wake up 5 a.m. to go to the gym. 5 a.m. comes around and the alarm rings. In our mind, it's literally going to be two voices going on in our head. Ah, I'm so tired. 5 more minutes. And the other voice is like, but I need to go to the gym. I promised myself to go to the gym. And the other voice is like, yeah, but 5 more minutes. I'm so tired. And the other voice is like, yeah, I need to go to the gym. It's two voices negotiating in our mind. And the more we negotiate, the less likely it is we're going to make the right decision because we're negotiating with our feelings, right? And this is like if you ever seen the movies with you have the angel on the left shoulder and you have the devil on the right shoulder, and one is telling you to do something, the other one's not telling you to do something, and it's because where do you think they got that from? Because it's actually true. We actually have two decisions going on, two voices going on inside our mind: the voice of how we feel and the voice of what we need to do. So how do we train our minds to become more disciplined knowing this now, right? So the more we give in to the voice of how we feel, the more we become undisciplined because we make the wrong decision. Because like we said before, emotions are misleading, right? So we have what we feel like, what we need to. Apologize for the handwriting. So we have what we feel like, and then we need to get to what we need like doing. But in our mind, right, it's this big mental hill to get over. Just like the example of when it's 5 a.m. and we need to get up to go to the gym. It feels so incredibly hurtful to get over that mental hill and to ignore how we feel. And it's right because how we feel is important to us, right? We want to feel as comfortable as possible. But again, to reiterate, the more we consider how we feel, the more we make the wrong decision. And I'll give you an example of this too, as why it's important. Because imagine you was you ran a company, right? Would you put somebody that's very emotional in charge of making very important decisions? 9 times out of 10, we won't, and it's because we already know they're emotional, and the fact that they're emotional, they're going to consider their emotions when they make these decisions. And we know in the back of our mind when somebody considers they're emotional and they're emotional when they make decisions, it's going to be the wrong decision, right? So we wouldn't want to be emotional as well to make the wrong decisions. So now we have what we feel like and what we need to do. So the more we ignore how we feel and continue to do what we need to do, it's going to become less strenuous and it's going to be more easy. That hill is going to shrink. It's going to shrink and it's going to shrink. And now after 10 days, 30 days, whatever, as long as it's going to take, it's not going to take that long, right? 30 days of just ignoring how you feel, practicing the habit of ignoring how you feel to make the right decision, you become more disciplined because you'll always make the right decision. You'll go from, I feel like, to what I need to do real quick, except for it being a big ass mountain in your head to make that decision from just habit. It's like a bicep. The first time you worked out your biceps the first week, it was so sore. The second week, it wasn't that sore. The third week, it's not sore at all. And the fourth week, your muscles got so used to it that it's just easy for you to just lift. And now you won't be sore anymore because you got strong enough in that area. So it's the same thing as far as building discipline in our mind. Just because we can't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. So now it's just so beneficial for us to be disciplined individuals because of, like I said, we want to be able to make the right decisions majority of the time in our life, and that takes discipline to ignore how we feel. The chances of you becoming more disciplined when you start practicing becoming more disciplined of what we just went over, the chances of you becoming successful are like they're so high, and that's because you're able to make the right decision all over again, 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 and that's due to your ability to stay disciplined to make the right decision. Ask yourself, or think about it: what do undisciplined people? What do they get out of life? Right? They don't really get much, right? What do disciplined people? What do they get out of life? They get exactly everything they want because they have the ability to control themselves, their urges, and not consider how they feel to make the best decision for their lives. Now, I hope you found that video helpful. And this is what I did to level up my discipline. I started to operate from a place of goals and what I need to do, and not operate from a place of feelings, because feelings are, like I said, misleading, and feelings want us to keep us comfortable. And striving for our goals every single day, or as much as we can, it's going to be days to where it's going to be more uncomfortable than comfortable. So operating from a place of duty is going to steer our life in a direction that we want, not in the direction that our feelings are going to take us. Because the more that we make the right decisions all over again, all over again, all over again, especially when it comes to fitness, the closer that we're going to get to the goal and the body that we want. So now I want to bring up something else too. Being disciplined is not, and extreme is two different things. So let's say I tell you, hey, I'm going to the gym 7 days a week for 3 months, and I actually do it. Yes, it's I'm disciplined, but it's also extreme. And let me separate the two. Being disciplined is being able to set a goal and stick it out and see it through. So me telling you, hey, I'm going to the gym 7 days a week for 3 months, the fact that I did it meant that I was disciplined about doing that. But it's extreme because I'm doing it every day for 3 months. So I'm not saying be extreme. Versus I say, hey, I'm going to the gym 3 days a week for 3 months and I actually do it. It's less extreme, but it's still disciplined because I actually still follow through on my word. So when I'm teaching, or what I'm saying in this video is, don't go and try to be too extreme. We just want to be able to set a goal, plan our meals, plan our exercise, plan our workouts for the course of whatever the whole program is, and stick it out and see it through. That is discipline, and that's what we want to raise and elevate. Now, discipline and being a disciplined person, nobody is 100% disciplined all the time. Nobody is. We all, our feelings and our emotions and days that we don't feel like it, we're gonna have those days to where we maybe not as disciplined, or we just are not feeling it, which is going to interrupt that day or that week or whatever it is. We're going to have those days. But what we want to do and what we want to aim for is, we want to go from 40% discipline to 80% discipline. So now imagine every week you're 40% more disciplined. So altogether you're 80% disciplined throughout the whole week. And then now a month you're 40% more disciplined. Then the whole year you're 40% more disciplined from the previous last year you were. That's a different body. That's different. Even though this is a fitness channel, but that's a different life. It's a different body, it's different money, it's a different way of living, because the bar of your discipline shot up to the point to where you may have setbacks, but you're more going to be more on top of what you want to do as far as your goals, that them setbacks are not going to matter as much. So the goal is to be more disciplined and raise our base level of discipline. Some people may be going from 30 to 70, and that's fine. Some people may be going from 40 to 80 or whatever it is. We just want to raise that discipline up. And by doing what I stated in this video, you will do it. So now, I hope this video was helpful, and I'll catch you in the next